Alrighty, good evening folks. It's after 10 o'clock on Sunday night, the 1st of February. I'm going to start doing lessons and go back to the beginning, what I used to teach. And this one's just going to be called How to Improve on Your Pentatonic Scale. Or master, it might be the word, but I can't get it all in 15 minutes. We're going to use A minor pentatonic, for example. Just remember, guys, if you're playing something that you can use an A minor pentatonic in, like just say something really big. Let's see. You know, whatever. It could be many things, you know. You know, so here's what an A minor pentatonic is. A, C, D, E, G. That's it. And then, of course, if you resolve again on it, you're starting another one, starting with an A again. But we're used to all hearing, well, it's really... Alright, so here's a way to get good with your pentatonic. It has nothing to do with speed. You don't have to have speed to be good. If you have it, that's great. Use it. But you don't have to have it. You just, how to be effective, you can be really good just by knowing everywhere it is. And being able to go to anywhere on the fretboard and nail whatever it is you want to play. First of all, if you learn it from the lowest point on the fretboard to the highest point, you're going to get to hear what they sound like. You know, even if you play the same 5 notes here versus up here, or on high strings and play that same thing on lower strings, there's a different sound. The strings are fatter, you know what I mean? You're more up the neck. There's a different tone just from the places that you play it. So you got an A, a C, a D, E, and a G. So the best thing that I did when I started digging in 2012 was I started at the lowest point on the fretboard. There's an E in your A minor pentatonic, so I can start with an E. Lowest point right here. So there's a block right there. So, you know, you could be playing something that, you know, where an A minor pentatonic could be used. Whatever, just anything. I could start at this A. There's 1,000 grooves just in that one block. A minor pentatonic starting with the E note. Whoop. The next block up, and you see the shape. I said the name of the notes, so you want to get past, well, what fret are you on? Or even reading tablature is fine, but it's a lot more impactful if you get it inside you by just learning the name of the notes and where they are and what they sound like in every block. So that'd be what I call, the first position would be starting with the root. There's only 5 positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're doing the 4 starting here. No, the 3. Alright, and the 5th position would be starting with the G note, because number 1 position will be when you start with the actual A note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 is the E. Alright, so at the G, you got... This sounds like an old ZZ Top song. So just starting at the G note, middle finger baby, because you need this finger, your first finger, for that notes back here. And then once I learned those two blocks, I would go start and go back and forth to both of them. But you notice I'm using certain fingers to do this, to develop all four fingers, but when you create actual phrases that you like, you can use whatever fingers work best for you. But if you don't use this fingering I'm using here, you can't go back and forth to those the way I'm going back and forth to them. If you favor the first finger and third or fourth finger, and not or not use the baby finger, you know, first and third, then you got to go. You can do it, but you get way smoother if you use the baby finger. I'm happy. The medication's kicking in now. Okay, so that's block number 4. This is block number 4 also. And block 5 is here. It's just repeating this one here. And then block number 1 would be starting. Your number 1 pentatonic position would be this shape, no matter what key you do it in. Go back and forth and get to where you can tie them together and actually move anywhere in the middle in between without going up all 6 strings, stuff like this. Just to be able to create any kind of phrasing you want smoothly in amongst those 3 blocks. So you got, this is the number 1. Number 2 block, and this goes for any key, speaking minor pentatonic. Number 2 block of a minor pentatonic is the major key of that minor pentatonic. This is A minor. Starting with the next block up, the C note, and with these fingers, you can resolve on the A, but it's C major. That's your major key that A minor pentatonic is from. It's a C major pentatonic also. Yeah, all those same blocks is also C major. If you're playing to anything in C, I can use the A minor pentatonic for that. Alright, so C major. That's also A minor. If I go to the A, you hear it. Okay, so then as you develop a new block, get that down, then keep working them in together. The thing is, when you get them down, you're also going to hear what they sound like. And when you start piecing them together, you're hearing what they sound like, piecing them together. And then when you start coming up with any kind of chord progression groove that you like, it can be out of the key of C major or A minor, or actually some Yeah, I don't want to get into all that now. Let's go to the next block. The third block up, no matter what key you do this in, the shapes are going to be the same. You move them all for a different key. So the third position is what I call the step over position, because you'll have 3 strings in a row that are just 2 frets apart. And in this case, I use the middle finger, baby finger, because the next one I got to use the first finger, baby finger. And then I got to step over at the G and B. Okay. And then we're back to this one that we started with. Now you don't have to go A to A when something's in A. If you got, whether it's rock or, you know. You don't have to play an A note to that A chord. You can play any one of those notes. The C, or the D, or the E, or the G. I can start on the G with that. If you go... Just listen to what they sound like. You know, any of it works. I used to walk up and down just those blocks, and I'd put on a backing track that's just doing like a couple chords that speak A minor. I've actually played to 1 chord ones were always the best for me. Just going. Whatever, you know, it could just be slow. And I would just play to it, kind of to the timing of it, but I'd just walk up and down the scales and it would all fit. So this lesson, I'm going to almost up on the 15 minutes, is just learn it on the whole fretboard. You know, so I just demonstrated it on the whole fretboard. I mean, the other ones up here are the same as the ones down here. They repeat from the G here, the shape here is going to be the same as this one. What? Where am I? You know, go as far as you have for frets, you know, but get it down so you can go up and down them. I'm going to do a part 2 on it where you can do all these different counts. Look. And another thing is learn how to create free. Work to be able to travel, creative phrases with Okay? All right, come on. You know why I trip up? Is because I don't even know what I really want to do. Yeah, if I think about